Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. It's going to be StarLadder Star Series, and we're going to have ourselves a game between No Tidehunter and 3D Max. Now for No Tidehunter, they are guaranteed to go to Kiev already, so it's not really important for them if they win or lose, apart from, of course, you know, playing for the honor. And I do believe that these two teams are familiar with each other. Well, actually, that might just be me, because it's, of course, Scandinavian and Swedes. Yeah. Oh well. Let's take a look at the scores real quick. We have, of course, No Tidehunter on the top of the list. 3D Max, though, here they are at number 15. And they kind of need to win at least one more to make sure they're not going to go to the Pro Series, because the bottom two get dropped down to Pro Series regardless. And that's not where you want to be. It's just that simple. You want to be in the Star Series. You want to be proving that you can compete with the big guys. So, Star Series, I'm not where you want to be at, or at least Pro Series it is, because you want to be at Star Series anyway. If you want to check out these scores for yourself, you go to StarLadder.tv, then you go to the Dota 2 segment, and you click on the League tab after you click on the English flag, or British flag I should say. So then you can find everything for yourself. In the meantime, we've made it through the bans. No surprises here. It's Bad Rider, Keeperov, Light Nyx Assassin, and Wisp that get banned out. No Tidehunter have decided that they wanted to have first pick. They were complete in the lobby as the first team, I believe.
Radiant team pick.
And they chose first pick, and then 3D Max chose themselves the Radiant side. So that is going to be that. We have got the Magnus as the first pick for No Tidehunter, so we are going to see S4's Magnus, as he has been playing that really often lately. And with good results as well, of course, otherwise they wouldn't be already having a guaranteed spot to go to Kiev. We're going to see 3D Max, so we're going to see a Lifestealer and a Rubik. One thing that has to be said is that 3D Max is playing with two stand-ins. One you might find familiar, as he has been playing with me for a very long time on matchmaking, and it's Jort. Hawaii is standing in as well, though. And the rest, of course, all from 3D Max. But we are going to see a Rubik and a Lifestealer, so having a support that is already solid and already nice against the Magnus, because basically you can't really steal real bad spells from Magnus. Stealing the score is, of course, great, because you get yourself an escape mechanism as well as an initiator if you really need it. You get yourself either a Shockwave or RP, which is great. And the Overpower is probably the worst spell to steal. But if you do get it, you can give it to the Lifestealer, and that's kind of nice as well. Lone Druid is going to be there as well, so that is another signature hero added to the board for No Tide, with Shadow Demon being the next pickup. So EGM has something to play as well. Or maybe Aki, depending on what the last pickup is going to be. They didn't pick up a Chen yet, quite surprised about that, as they did have the opportunity. Maybe 3D Max is going to ban it out in the banning phase if they don't pick it up themselves, and we all know that Aki loves to play that Chen. So we might see him still being able to pick it up, depending on what 3D Max does, of course. We'll find out.
10 seconds remaining.
As we're gonna first see the last pickup for 3D Max. It's gonna be a Darkseer, so the hero that we see often still. Sometimes he's completely forgotten, but with certain lineups he is still there. Especially if you're gonna be having a. If you're gonna be up against a team, sorry, that is gonna try to team fight you with an RP, of course. And a vacuum can just totally disrupt the positioning of No Tidehunter, and that will be very nice for 3D Max to get some. Well, it's not really control. It creates chaos on the other side. It creates chaos for No Tidehunter, so it's kind of nice to have on your team. We have got ourselves a Gyrocopter being banned out. That's of course something that works well together with the Shadow Demon, as well as No Tidehunter playing it quite often as a support as well. Gonna see the Puck being banned out together with the Bounty Hunter for No Tidehunter, as we do. Well, I'm actually quite surprised that we see the Bounty Hunter. I mean, we do still need a solo lane for 3D Max. They've got a Rubik and a Lifestealer and a Darkseer, so that's a dual lane ready so far and a solo lane. Now, of course, Darkseer can be going to that mid lane, especially if it's going to be up against that Magnus. But it is not really really common to see that all that much. And we do have ourselves a Queen of Pain now banned out as well. That's just another one that S4 doesn't really like to play against mid. We're going to have a Luna being banned out, so 3D Max are just banning out those carries, knowing that there's still something that Loda needs to play on the side of No Tidehunter. There are, of course, a lot of heroes still in the pool, and we have seen No Tidehunter actually picking up the Sven lately, as well as other heroes that are a bit out of favor. Also, like the Phantom Assassin, which is something that Loda sometimes likes to play. The Chen still the last ban for 3D Max, so that's a bit of a respect ban. So let's see if they're going to be picking up the Enchantress, which is something that, of course, a bit of a secondary kind of pickup, I guess.
10 seconds
or is it going to be a gonna be another support.
5 seconds remain.
It's gonna be Leshrac. So Leshrac is something together with Alina, of course, but Leshrac in this case is gonna be a hero that works very well together with the Shadow Demon Disruption, followed up by Split Earth. It's great, it's magical. And of course also, I mean, even if there's no disruption, they could actually still be picking up that Sven. Sven Leshrac lane has been seen multiple times before as well. So we're gonna see what they're gonna be going for. But first it's 3D Max time to pick a hero up. Which one are they gonna be going for? Is it gonna be
10 seconds
another
remaining.
support? Or is it gonna be, well, what mid laner do we still have?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, we have a lot still.
Reserve.
Really depends. I mean, 3D Max could still pick up something in the jungle as well. But do they really want to? And are they expecting No Tidehunter to go running for that aggressive tri-lane, send Admiral Bulldog on the safe lane, which is definitely possible, and then go for Shadow Demon Leshrac and something else tri-lane? I would actually like to see a StarLadder with that combination. That would be cool. I haven't seen StarLadder in ages. And the reason I say that, by the way, is because Shadow Demon and StarLadder actually work out well together as well. You know, StarLadder can just walk up towards his target and crush the moment that the disruption is out. But then again, I mean, Phantom Lands are still in the pool as well, and we know that Loda likes to play a lot of different kind of heroes, and I don't think I've ever seen him play StarLadder, maybe once or twice. Anyways. 3D Max still thinking about their pickup. They have got 30 seconds left into their bonus time, but that's all the time that they have, and they picked themselves up Alina, so are gonna go for a tri-lane with the Rubik and Alina. The combination is the same kind as the Leshrac and the Shadow Demon, but we've often seen actually the Rubik, you know, with the telekinesis landing him elsewhere, and then the communication not being entirely up to scratch, and therefore not landing the Light Strike array. You know, it's possible. We're gonna assume that it's not gonna happen, of course. I mean, a pro team shouldn't make those mistakes, but it's still something to take notice of. We have got a Windrunner for the last pick for No Tidehunter, making me believe that they're gonna be running the Windrunner as a support, as they've done yesterday as well. And then just have Aki play the Shadow Demon and the EGM on the Windrunner support. We've seen them playing that yesterday up against Foda, where they were able to be victorious. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what they're gonna be doing. And actually, they haven't dropped a game in StarLadder since they switched roster. Have they dropped a game in? Yeah, they've dropped one game since their roster change, which was up against Na'Vi, the new roster of Na'Vi, that is. But it wasn't in StarLadder.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And that would then be a Formula Shrek, but we're gonna see. They have multiple possibilities. We have a Pugna being picked up by 3D Max. Pugna is of course going to be trying to stop the Magnus from having his combination going off, and of course the Leshrac also, a very cast heavy hero, so that ward is going to be playing a big role in those fights. And it looks like we are not going to see EGM on the Windrunner. We are going to see a farming Windrunner. Loda picking her up. And let's see who's going to be playing what. We have got S4 playing his Magnus, no surprise there, just like Admiral Bulldog is playing his Lone Druid. Loda will be up against the Windrunner. Well, not up against, he will be the Windrunner, and Aki on the Leshrac. With EGM, the last one, on the Shadow Demon. Let's jump ourselves over to the Radiant side, where we're gonna see 3D Max getting ready for battle. We have Hawaio, playing the Darkseer. He's gonna be on the safe lane. With that hero, we're gonna see the Pugna played by Hester Rotten, and he is gonna be on the mid lane. No surprise there. We are gonna see an aggressive Trilon as well, though. It's gonna be Hayek that's gonna be playing the Rubik. We're gonna see Yort and the Lina as a stand-in, and last but not least, it will be Noya playing the Lifestealer. So that is gonna be the aggressive tri-lane, and they could even at some point try to roam with these two, depending on what No Tidehunter is gonna do, considering they are also gonna run for an aggressive tri-lane. So 3D Max probably anticipating that that tri-lane.
30 seconds to battle.
And therefore setting the Darkseer on the bottom lane. We might see a rotation from No Tidehunter though as soon as they notice, but we'll find out. For now they're not going to notice because they haven't placed any wards but this one, and nobody of 3D Max is coming close to that one. So it's just going to be Bulldog scouting it out probably as the first one. As he we'll see Noya probably running for the rune as well. Let's see who's going to get lucky. Is it going to be, oh, Invis rune, Noya will pick it up.
Invisibility.
And that is going to be him realizing that we might actually... Oh, we instantly have a rotation from No Title Hunter, not towards the top lane. But maybe they want to try to snipe off the Darkseer, see if they can get something done there. We also have a smoke up for 3D Max, seeing if they can get a snipe up on the middle lane, perhaps, S4. Hasn't picked up a skewer just yet. Maybe they can go for a Bulldog straight away. Looks like that's the case. We're going to follow these, because... we're going to follow the top lane, because that's an actual smoke. And this one, I'm not sure if they can actually gank the Darkseer already. He didn't pick up the Surge though. So that is something. Disruption is all that's needed to start it off. In the meantime, smoke is going to be off in a moment. There's going to be the open wounds. The Bulldog is going to be the target. There's the telekinesis. Light Strike away. Gonna follow up. And it should be the first blood. Bulldog will die. And Yord picks up the first blood. Has a stand-in. And that is going to be the first blood going to 3D Max. And it's going to be Hawaii being safe and sound on the bottom lane. We do have No Title Hunter backing off a bit more, but I don't think they're going to be too sad about that. They have got the lane pushed out. Disruption is going to start things off here. Can they get him down? Split Earth, he does have a Surge though. Power Shot to help out. There's a Surge. Should be enough to get himself away, but he is forced out of range of experience and last hits. And that is going to be the rest of his career on the bottom lane. It is also going to be marking the... the rotation for EGM and Anaki might not be going towards the top lane, but will at least be roaming and going for a gank. Very inconspicuous next to a standing still next to a ward, but yeah, that's gonna be Hestajo probably be very safe. In the meantime, level 2 up on the supports on the top lane. Well, almost. Hayek is still level 1 actually, and level 1 also still up on the supports for No Title Hunter. We can get a bit of
top tower is under attack.
keep it. Well, wow, English is hard, but we should be keeping a bit of extra track on those levels of the supports, because of course if you're going for an aggressive trial lane, which is the case for both teams right now, experience is normally the thing that you're gonna get behind on most. I mean, last hits are should be in theory okay, but experience is going to be tough to get by, especially since you're going to be sharing the experience with 3 people on the same lane, or not getting any experience at all and giving all the experience to Loda, which is great as well, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be ideal. And now we're going to see if they can get something done here. Of course, Hestajo, they should be aware that this is happening, the rotation. And he is going to be landing a blast. Going to be putting the disruption. Nothing to follow up on, though. He is going to be just fine. And they're just going to be passing by to steal some experience from S4 instead. And S4, 16 for 4 on his last hits for now, with Hestajo 12 for 1. So Hestajo is getting slightly behind, but it's not by that much. And the blast will make sure that S4 is going to be... gonna be having to work for it. Let me say that. Oh, wow. Danger. Nice illusion rune. The damage could actually kill him off, and that is indeed the case. S4 getting himself a kill, and therefore marking the advantage that he gets in the middle lane. Gonna be putting Pugna a step back. And Pugna, when he is level 6, expect maybe some rotations from 3D Max. I mean, if you look at their lineup and you think about the combination with the 2 teams late game, you've got, of course, a Lifestealer up against the Lone Druid. Now, I can't really... I kind of want to say no to be pulling up ahead with that, especially since they also got an RP. But then again, it puts a lot of weight in Hayek, because if Hayek steals some great spells, he can have that RP as well. So it all comes down to what these teams are thinking, as in... Well, of course it always does that, I know, Captain Obvious. But it comes down to what the teams think is gonna be their strength in the game. Like, is it gonna be mid-game? Is it gonna be early game? And I think for 3D Max, mid-game is probably their goal. As they then have the Darkseer with a couple of levels. They've got the Pugna, which is... I mean, Pugna is a very situational hero. And I kind of think his strength lies mostly with his Nether Blast. It is the most spammable AoE damage spell in Dota. So, and of course it also hits tower. So at some point I hope that they're gonna try to go for maybe a push or something, but then again they have to watch out for the RP. So maybe I should just shut up and see what the teams are actually gonna go for, because it could go either way. It really depends on what these teams think, and more importantly, it depends on when they see opportunities and when they feel like the opponent team is making a call that they shouldn't have. Noya is going to be on 27 for 8 with Bulldog on 10 for 1. So Bulldog, he is not really getting anything done on the top lane. But we know him, and we know his Lone Druid. He will be getting his farm sooner or later. In this case later, but he will be getting it at some point. So we shouldn't really be too worried about that for now. He has of course died already once, but the lane is not gonna go bad again, or at least, ooh, nice stun still hits though, and that's gonna be another kill. RP is not gonna be casted. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that the supports went away there, so he's gonna be a bit more safe. Talking about supports that went away, they went away from the bottom lane as well for Loda. He's gonna be having his support sitting on the top lane now to help out Lone Druid. Seeing if he can get if they can get something done, but they rotate towards the middle lane instead. After picking up S4, I mean, a kill that was definitely needed for 3D Max to take the lane back, basically. Of course, we saw S4 already getting a solo kill up on the puck now, and this kill is just making it even. But let's see if they can do it. We do have a sentry ward, so it's gonna get countered. It's a very nice counter though, as in the ward was about to. I mean, normally you would never place a ward before this counter ward at the end of the 6th minute, basically, because it can be right about that time. Oh, telekinesis, nice! 3D Max anticipating on that one, counter ward and the counter ward, and getting the vision from the high ground and picking off EGM with that. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that, I mean, the wards are gonna normally disappear around 6 minute mark. That's basically it. RP is still there. There we go. S4 Karen. Yeah, casting it. There goes the Cripify. Might actually be enough. Tower needs more damage. Can't get more damage on the tower, and that is gonna be Hester Joe going down once more. Loda in the meantime getting some harassment up on Hawaii. Gonna be able to continue the harassment. And he is on 40 for 17. He is the highest last hitter in the game right now, Hawaii. He is level 5, 14 last hits, I have to say. He was, of course, up against the top lane at the start and has been playing extra safe since then. And against Loda, I mean, Windrunner versus Darkseer, Windrunner is going to win it purely because of her range and his harass. I mean, is going to be enough to force Hawaii away from the experience range. I mean, he might still get some last hits, but it's also easy to deny things that are having an Iron Shell because it's graduate damage, and graduate damage is easy to get denies on. In the meantime, Bulldog level 6 is getting those levels slowly but steadily. He's being supported now by Aki. Now, if we look at the levels of the supports once again, which I said that we should keep an eye on at the start of the game, Aki is level 3. We do have EGM on level 2 still, and we compare that to the supports of 3D Max, level 4 upon Yort. And the last one is top, it is Hayek level 4 as well. So that is a massive difference. Experience graph is still in favor of No Tide though. And that is all going to be up on S4 and up on Loda. Level 8 for S4, I mean, if you look at the level difference, both are level 8, S4 and then Loda, and the highest level for 3D Max is the Pugna at level 7. And then level 6s and then level 4s. But you see the difference. It is more spread evenly on 3D Max, but also as a result it is oh, Shackle, Hawaii can already not, I already used his surge, cannot get away, I think. Couple more right clicks needed. He has another surge though, using it, and oh, he gets blocked by the creeps, but it doesn't matter, he's gonna be away. Power shot, boom, misses. Hawaii saved and sound. I'm gonna be walking his way back to base. We're gonna have Bulldog in some trouble. He went to check for a rune, perhaps. Gonna be able to get himself away there. Bear, maybe trying to... Oh, why a pause? Tactical pause. There is an RP up again. Yort's trying to back out from that. We've got Admiral Bulldog already turning around to go for this. They might try to go for this, for an RP up on those two. S4 could try and skewer and get those two, but he has to be careful because the Light Strike Array will follow up on that. So he has to make that choice. Is he gonna go for Lina and leave Bulldog to get an entangle up on one of these two? Or are they gonna go for 2 and just try to kill both of those off and, you know, take the Light Strike Array in the face, thinking they're gonna be able to survive that anyway? It's basically the question. Yort, who is it gonna be? Oh, S4 backs off. Telekinesis still on Bulldog. Entangle lands on Hayek, but Bulldog is in trouble with Noya also coming from the side, and that's a kill. Yort picking it up. S4 getting himself away. Of course, the Rubik still went down to courtesy of S4. But 1-for-1 trade with a better trade for 3D Max. Pulling up ahead in the gold though. I mean, 400 gold, 9 minutes is really nothing, to be fair. Put up the net worth. Disruption. Just harassment though. That's a Joe, he's out of mana. There's trouble for him. Their RP is still up on S4 as well. If he wants to go for that. He has full mana. Just needs a skewer and an RP. And he can see that the partner is out of mana. But he also knows that there's someone standing close by, otherwise SJO would never be that ballsy as he just was. In the meantime, Loda, let's see what he's gonna go for. Picked himself up the Oblivion Staff. Probably gonna go for an Orchid. A nice choice, I think, with the situation that he has and the heroes that he's gonna be up against. I mean, silence is gonna be annoying for every single hero, maybe apart from the Lifestealer, but for the rest, I mean, especially Darkseer. His job in fights, like I said earlier, create chaos with vacuums, etc. He's not gonna be able to do that with the silence up there. Bulldog in the meantime, he's getting his farm up a bit more, but he is still having some issues. We see his farm. It's as high as the Lone Druid who was on the safe lane on the bottom lane for 3D Max. I mean, I guess in a way he's doing okay since he is the same. Oh, whoa, that blast hurt a lot. EGM though, can he get away? No, he cannot. That is Pugna getting himself a kill. For a second there, he looked like a gremlin. A goblin, rather. Ooh, smoke. Hayek and Yort. Where are they gonna go? Is it gonna be middle lane, S4 again? S4 is building towards the mechanism for his team. A build that we've seen him do more often. And it's basically the result of, oh, go for the RP, gets it, and that should be a kill splitter. It's gonna help out, and that's gonna be indeed a kill S4 picking it up. So, the build that he has been doing more often is gonna be the, still Blink Dagger, but Blink Dagger after the mechanism. And basically, Aki is not going to get the farm to get a mechanism in time. Oh wait, what are you doing? EGM, disruption up on the Darkseer. Can he get himself out of there? Surge, Shackle, Ledges though. Can there be a power shot to shut him down? One more hit needed. Boom, you're dead. S4 actually getting the last hit for that one. Nice laugh, S4, nice laugh. In the meantime, on the top lane is Bulldog that goes down for the third time. 3D Max doing a good job shutting him down. And by the way, just want to point out this is Aki is taking a lot of damage from that blast with that Cripify up on him, but he has still a self, so he will use it. But we are 11 minutes into the game, and of course, I mean this is nothing that doesn't happen often, but I still want to point that out because there's no tower down yet, and I mean lately that hasn't happened that much. Ooh, no skewer just yet. There we go. Wanted to of course take SJO with him if he could. We have Hawaii chasing him down. Is there going to be a vacuum in time? No, Shockwave is going to send Hawaii on his way. In the meantime, top lane might be the first tower. Pressure is going to be applied. There's nobody here to defend it. Bulldog has decided to farm on the bottom lane since Loda has successfully farmed there for a long time.
Dire's top tower.
And the tower goes down on the top lane indeed. Is that the mechanism complete? Yes, it is. So as far as that, next on the list, Blink Dagger. And with the Blink Dagger, we might see some change of pace because, I mean, they've got some fights, they've got some kills. I mean, 6-5 is still fairly even, but when you have your Magnus in the mid lane, he should be making that big of a difference that it's not going to be even. Vacuum back in with Bulldog, and there's the open wounds. Can they get him down? Rage as well. Bulldog, you're dead for the 4th time this game. And you shall not have the freedom to farm anywhere. Now 3D Max, they are of course sacrificing a lot of playtime, I should say, for heroes to shut him down constantly. But if they keep it up, it should be paying off. The Lifestealer hasn't died yet. He has been in 4 kills so far, which is basically all on Bulldog, I think. Skewer! He has an RP if he wants to go for it. Where's the Rage? Infest. And Infest out. Full on HP again. And the 6 charges were there as well. And S4 now gonna go towards the mid lane, seeing if he can help out here. Yort getting shackled. Gonna go down. One more hit from the tower will do the job. And look at this. Really nice coverage from the Sentry Wars from No Tidehunter, as 3 of their heroes getting away with very low HP. No telekinesis possible anymore, as maybe now he comes back actually. He has got a score in RP. They're not afraid to take him. I mean, there's also Hawaii that is just standing around there, so they would be in favor for that fight, if not pure for numbers, then, you know. Loda in the meantime going for a second Oblivion Staff. He's almost got that complete. In the meantime is going to be S4 still trying to get a kill done. Maybe this time he can get Noya. He doesn't have an infest this time, but it looks like he's not even going to try. Doesn't want to waste it RP for now. And still on the middle lane, we still have 3 heroes from 3D Max just continuously pushing.
Dire's structures are fortified.
4 actually. I mean, you can understand why they do that. I mean, they're just trying to pressure No Tidehunter to make sure that No Tidehunter is sitting around their tier 1 as well, so that they can't do anything. And maybe Noya can take some farm on the bottom lane freely, so that he can get ahead from Bulldog. Although, by the way, saying that, it's been a while since 3D Max actually was up against Bulldog again. I mean, since the last time he died. Bulldog is still farming now top. We can see his net worth on the sideline, and it is slowly but steadily creeping up. In the meantime, a Laguna Blade cleans out Leshrac. Jord getting his 3rd kill of the game. Loda having his Orchid complete. S4 still looking for that RP use. Maybe he can find the Pavayo. He has a search though. Oh, hello. Hello? No? Hello? S4. Wait, oh, he's gonna vacuum? No mana. Never mind. He didn't have a soul ring though, he could have done it. He TP'd mid actually, wants to go for this. It is Hester Joe that's already down.
Fantastic.
Looks like we have got 3D Max gathering in the middle lane. They don't have that big, like, you have of course got an RP up on No Tidehunter, and there's really no equivalent on 3D Max. The only thing they can try to do is get that RP up on the Rubik, of course, but that's easier said than done, because for that to happen, you have to actually take an RP into the face yourself first. And I don't think that 3D Max is yet ready to take that, especially since they don't have a mechanism yet. When they have a mechanism, they might be more confident, but nobody is building it yet. In the meantime, Bulldog is going to be able to get some tower gold here, and S4 just sitting around in the invis waiting for something. And Noya, he's going to get RP together with Jord. Can they do more? Yes, they can. Look at the damage going through. S4 is going to be able to get 1 kill. Can he get another? Infest in a creep. Should be able to keep the Lifestealer safe for now, even though it's a range creep. And not in an eye range just yet. And the rest backs off. Nice kill. Though I guess for No Tidehunter, it's a shame that they don't get that they don't get Noya. They do get Jord though. They do get Lena, that is. But yeah, like I said, no mechanism yet on 3D Max. We might see a Vio go for that. He's got 1500 gold. But if you're gonna be up against a team that can teamfight as what are they doing in by themselves all the time?
I return to the nether reaches.
Why was he there? By himself. Shouldn't happen. Hester Joe goes down. He was maybe trying to snipe off some people that were at the edge of dying, but you know, one of them has a mechanism and an RP, or not an RP anymore, but you know, is a Magnus. Can't really do that. Anyway, if you're gonna be up against a team with such big team fight, you need a mech. That's what we see maybe coming out from the Darkseer. He bought something though, and it is indeed gonna be a mechanism for him. So that's gonna be good, and maybe when we see that, we might see them being a bit more aggressive with pushing. Because for now, I mean, they're just trying to pick off heroes, as it's failed a couple of times as well. But like normally, you know, kind of what a team is gonna go for, and we know that 3D Max. I mean, they've been doing good. They've been picking heroes off. But are they really confident in facing No Tidehunter's team very, very late game, or are they just gonna take it as it comes? And let's see if they can just make use of No Tidehunter's movement. No Tidehunter seems to be fairly defensive this game. I mean, we haven't really seen the big teamfight group RP from S4. I mean, he's been picking off heroes with it, yeah. But other than that, maybe something's gonna come now. We have got 3 heroes on the bottom lane. 4 actually. Even though Aki is gonna run away. And S4 now as well. Well, that was interesting. 5 heroes for 3D Max are still here though. Word goes up. They want to fight this 3D Max. There goes S4 already getting blasted. It's gonna be Eki that's gonna be already picked off before the fight even starts. S4 squirrels himself away. They don't want to take a fight. No Tidehunter on the defensive side for now. Surge up for Noya looking for an open wounds in 8 seconds. Can't find it. There's a Decrepify trying to help out. Blast gonna miss. TP's incoming. Noya on the way out. They're still on RP up on S4. They can't turn this around if they want to. Open wounds up a Loda. Vacuum in. And that is gonna be the infest out. A lot of AoE damage going through. Loda going down. Bear going down. Another Decrepify up on Magnus. No RP for him still. And that's gonna be 2 heroes picked up for for 3D Max on the side of No Tidehunter. And the TP goes out from Noya. Oh, gets cancelled though. 2400 gold up on him. And he gets surged forward, so he can farm faster. He of course wants to continue faster farming. They have fought. And in their favor, without baiting out an RP, they know the RP is still up, so they don't want to be continuing to farm. As we do have the armlet being built up by Bulldog, a build that he has been favoring over the last couple of days. And smoke up for No Tidehunter. This time they want to be the one to initiate. This time they want to be the one to fight. Almost Blink Dagger up on S4, but they're not going to wait for it any longer. There is already a ward up. They did walk past the ward, but I don't think they saw it. Although we do have the pings going off. And it is No Tidehunter that is actually rotating. Going to be taking jungle creeps instead. They're going to be backing off through the ward of the Radiant, of course, so they know that they're there, and it looks like they're still looking for it. Hayek not backing off, knowing exactly who is going to go for a Shadow Demon. 1 telekinesis is all it takes. Needs to get vision though, needs to get in close. Has 4 Blink Dagger right now. And there's a blink forward, doesn't get someone with the skewer though. And they're not going to be able to find anybody apart from EGM perhaps, so wow. Wow, no vision for a telekinesis, I guess. And EGM back in safety. And 3D Max. And just trying to make sure that No Tidehunter is constantly busy with them. Even though it doesn't really work out for Loda, as Loda is, I mean, he's doing very good on the farm. Vacuum back in there for Hawaii. We do have the tower almost in the nigh range. Wind run away. And TPs himself towards the bottom lane where S4 is already almost going down. Noya gets a demonic purge. Trouble. Power shot goes down. Dominating streak from the Lifestealer. Courier in some trouble. Will be safe though. Should be safe. And we have Yord still landing a stun. RP gonna hit up on 2. S4 has got himself another shockwave. Is it gonna be enough? Telekinesis going through. Has it Joe taking a split earth to the face though, and Edith going through as well. One more blast, and down he goes. It is Bullock that picks up Lena on the backside, and Aki in some trouble. Hayek should be getting himself out of that place though. Together with Havayo, they're not safe, and Tangles are being looked for, and that's not even needed. He gets the kill. In the meantime, Hawaii, last one alive, standing for his team. 3D Max. This could be the turn of the game for No Tidehunter. They pick off towers. They have got the armlet. They want to fight. They're no longer avoiding. And they took it and they almost got themselves a team wipe on their opponents. We do have the gold graph still slightly in favor of 3D Max, but I don't think it's being entirely updated just yet. Experience graph shows it a bit more clear. It was already in favor of No Tidehunter by just a small amount, as we already discussed that one, but it's going even further with all these skills going their way. 12 to 13. Of course, later kills me more experience, so that's why we see that. And we have got the gold graph going towards the 0 line, not even that far down. But because also No Tidehunter, they get the tower, yes, but they back off afterwards. They don't take any extra farm, at least not before also 3D Max was able to get back to farm. And it looks like 3D Max, they want to defend their tier 1. Gonna be tough though, because that bear, the bear is kind of sad when he's in the air. No deny. No deny possible with that demolish on the bear. It's just too much attack damage that he has on those buildings. And No Tide landing a observer ward when they get away, looking for the entangle perhaps. No, not finding it. Lone Druid just slightly out of range. Looking for that blink initiation. The RP is there. We do have of course the blink dagger indeed up on S4. So look for the right positioning for 3D Max. Open moves now on Bulldog first though. Noya getting an entangle. Vacuum in. Where is the damage? Mechanism helping out. Jumps himself inside a creep. Creep's gonna go down. Blast doesn't pick up the bear. It would be a new bear anyway. And 3D Max, you really want a team fight when there's an RP on the board. We know S4, we know he can land them. And he's actually gonna go in from the side. There's no more wards up for the Radiant side either, and they're gonna come up the high ground. He knows it though, and now he's running away because he wasn't ready for it. His team wasn't. The Roshan is being attempted in the meantime. Vacuum back in. That's gonna be the overpower stolen, but not really the one that you want to have. Maybe you can use it up on Noya. Sentry ward, counter the sentry ward. They back off from Roshan again. Let's see if 3D Max can do something here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
By the way, I just want to clear something out that's being said in the chat. Actually, let me just do that after this fight, because this is going to be a fight. This is definitely going to be a fight. Or is it? Come on, people, let's have a fight. And Loda says, no, I need farm on the top lane. Okay. So, 3D Max is not the same as 3D Clan. 3D Max is still here, has always been here, has never been any talk of disbanding. They still have a 5-man roster, though they couldn't make it today, so they have got only two stand-ins. But normally they are with 5. I think you're having them confused with 3D Clan, who has indeed recently lost a lot of their members and have got a lot of roster issues, and there was indeed talk of them disbanding. So this is not that team that you're thinking about. Orchid and Armlet up on Noya already. Ward being placed. Blast doesn't hit anything. Noya trouble. RP for Noya alone. And he is gonna go down. The Gripify is gonna delay it, but down he goes regardless. It is gonna be the Laguna Blade that picks up the S4 still, but now Yord's gonna be on the run for his life. Cannot TP out anymore. Bulldog goes down still though. Iron Shell doing the work. Split Earth hits up on Acid Joe. Is there gonna be enough damage to take him down? It is still gonna be the Shadow Demon that drops on the sideline. Double kill for Hawaii. Can they get Aki as well? That blast doing massive amounts of damage. Vacuum back in as well. And that should be a kill. The Splitter's not hitting anybody. And in the meantime, the only one left alive for no Tidehunter is Loda. He was the only one that didn't die. And it was a good fight for 3D Max. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely... sorry, for no Tidehunter, that is. Because they got a good RP. They forced out a buyback from the Lifestealer. But I think as soon as they saw that buyback, they should have backed off. Because now they're gonna lose the Roshan, and if they didn't, they would have still had a chance to go for Roshan. And now only Loda left. No RP anymore. No nothing anymore. And the Roshan will be picked up by 3D Max. Shackle. I heard it lash. Yeah, there we go. By the way, the latching power shot going through. Infest. Should still be enough to pick up the Roshan, unless no Tidehunter just want to go in. There goes the Skewer. And they want to take down the Roshan. It's going to be the Darkseer that already drops. Noya dies as well. Darkseer buys back. Hesijo goes down. The Roshan goes down to the Dire. And Loda picks up the Aegis. That is going to be bad news for 3D Max. They did all the work. And no Tidehunter is going to leave with the candy. Having their entire lineup back to full health. And they're now going to be going for a push down middle. They have the RP up again in 8 seconds. They've got the Aegis. They've almost got a BKB up on Loda. And they're looking strong. Bracer build, by the way, for the Leshrac Telekinesis S4. Gonna be putting the disruption. Save his life. Not getting on Life Strike Array. Nice. Darkseer wall. Very nice. Sends no Tidehunter on the way for now. Hawaii shackled and tangled. Hawaii goes down. This might be the turnaround that no Tidehunter was waiting for. Looking for the Telekinesis, but Yord can't find it for now. Noya looking for an open wound. Who's he gonna find? It's gonna be Loda. There's the RP though. On the 2 supports. Hayek and Yord both go down. Noya has to run for his life. Is gonna be in fear of a entangle from the bear. Shackle doesn't latch, and no entangle just yet. The bear is gonna be safe as well, but the Skewer away for Noya and Pugna, and that is gonna be a team wipe on the side of 3D Max, and it's gonna be leading into a tier 2 tower and maybe even a tier 3 and Rax. We're gonna see how fast they can do it. There are no buybacks apart from on the Pugna on the Radiant side. And just a Pugna, what can he do? What can a Pugna by himself do, is the question. I don't think anything. And that's what he thinks as well, so he's thinking, you know what? They can have this Rex as long as they back off afterwards, which they have to do because, well, unless they want to go for the tier 4s. But the other tier 3s are still protected by the tier 2s. So they're just going to make sure that they don't overextend. Not going to be losing anything more than just barracks. And might even not lose barracks depending on when the lifesteal is back up. But yeah, the barracks will still go down actually. They're going to blade up on Loda. Loda in some trouble. Needs a couple more hits. Shackle stolen by Hayek. Hayek doesn't latch. One more hit needed for Loda, and that is actually going to be popping the Aegis. No more mana for Lina. So no Light Strike Array, and he actually pops his BKB. He wants to turn this around. Noya though. Whoa! Silence up before he could rage. Shackle. Gonna latch Noya to a creep. Noya, trouble! And he is dead again! Jumps himself with a creep, never mind, just in time! Aki in some trouble, getting silenced up, but Awayo still dead. Skewer to the high ground for S4. What are you doing here? Finding your... Okay, gets a kill. Works as well. Noya, of course, still died, by the way. Loda picking up that kill, and this could actually be game. Hesta Joe in some trouble. Decrepifying the bear. Bear gets summoned back, but they now have no more tier 2 top to deal with, so they're gonna go for the tier 3 top. With Rubik still hanging around here, just like Hesta Joe. Shackle not gonna latch, but doesn't really matter, I think. Tier 3 goes down. The barracks will drop as well. Shackle, nice, but who's gonna go in on that one? It's gonna be the second set of racks. No time to where are they gonna go next? Out. Out, they say. Back off, recuperate, go for bottom lane. And 3D Max holding on. Pretty tough, I have to say. I mean, at this time, you know, it was even for a very, 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 very long time. But then 14k gold in favor of No Tide. Experience graph will look about the same, maybe different numbers, but still fairly even. And then bam. That's the bam. Let's see what Bulldog has on his bear in the meantime. Oh, come on, don't. His bear. He's got a Bastion next to the armlet. We've got a Yule Scepter up on Aki. Magnus doesn't have anything more but the Blink Dagger and the mechanism yet. He's got 2100 gold. We've got Windrunner going for a MKB that looks fit, or at least Demon's Edge picked up. So we'll see what it's gonna be. And an Assault Cuirass up on S4. They've got all that farm complete. Why not try? And they're all on the bottom lane, so we know that the smoke that I just off for 3D Max is gonna be useless, or at least they're gonna be forced back to their base anyway. Looking for stuff that isn't there. Thinking No Tidehunter might be going to farm up their jungle before going again, but no Tidehunter. They're thinking, you know what? We have the advantage of this game, we can do this. And they're gonna go for the tier 2 and then the tier 3 from behind though. Here they come. Infested Lifesteal up on the Darkseer. The smoke up for No Tidehunter, and they realize it. Here they come. The infest out. Vacuum in is not gonna happen actually because Hawaii getting stunned up. No more mana for him. He's gonna be out of life soon also. That's gonna be him down there. ZRP up on 2. Noya's already gonna be dropped down just like Hesta Joe. And it's gonna be a GG as the rest get cleaned out as well. No Tidehunter. You're gonna be keeping their clean slate and gonna be still only having one defeat. In StarLadder Star Series, they're already guaranteed to go to Kiev. 3D Max, they're not gonna go to Kiev. They're actually on their way to go to the Pro Series, as in getting dropped down a league, which is something, of course, that you're not gonna be wanting if you're playing in Star Series. So they still need at least one more win to prevent that from happening. But we're gonna see if they can do that. It's not gonna be today though. Today they don't have any more matches. Today we're only gonna see one more match. It's gonna be Mouse Sports taking on 4FC. And now on paper, Mouse Sports should be getting ahead. But we know 4FC, they are a team that can cause upsets. They can definitely do that. And we can also say that that's a very important match. If they lose it, if Mouse Sports would lose it, there's actually gonna be a chance again for Na'Vi to still go to Pro Series. To Kiev, sorry. To Kiev. But we'll see. I think that chance is still very slim because some other things have to happen as well. But we'll see. It's going to be Mouse Sports versus 4FC. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for more Dota 2 coming up next.